All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Just a quick video today on how to make snap plates using nylon webbing. So sometimes I'll make snap plates out of sheets of ABS plastic or styrene plastic. ABS is generally stronger, but today I'm going to be just showing how to make a snap plate out of this nylon so that it can be glued onto curved surfaces. Okay, so you want to take some 1.5 inch wide nylon webbing, and you want to use your hole puncher here, which is normally used for leather, and you want to just set the pin in the center of the nylon and punch your hole. Now, some people will be able to use, if you don't have a hole punching tool like this, some people will use a soldering iron to burn that hole through. So you can definitely do that. Just be careful, because you can, obviously anything that's burning, you can burn it, the hole bigger than it needs to be. You can catch on fire, releases fumes and smoke and that sort of thing. So just be careful with that if you are using a soldering iron. You then take your Tandy Line 24 snap, that's generally what I use, and you put it through, put it through the bottom of the webbing, right? So it pokes through like that. And then you want to set it onto your setting base tool. And I'm just going to use a little block of wood here to, so I don't mess up my table. But you want to make sure that you're doing, whatever hammering when you're setting your snap on a solid surface. If you do it on a folding table or something like that, that's a bad idea, because the table's moving around, it's bouncing around, and you'll actually find that the snap can sort of slide around. So what I do is I try to hold, put the center of the snap or the base plate over that little block, and just holding it down with my fingers here, right? So it doesn't move around. Then I can slide the opposite side of the snap. Doesn't matter whether you're using the male or female version of the snap. Slide that on top, and this is the trick that I do. So a lot of people will just put the tool, on top, and then just start hammering on it, and then they'll find the whole thing goes crooked. It goes to one side, and the reason is because the metal that they use for the snaps is pretty thin. And if if the setting tool is at an angle at any, if you're hammering it really hard and it's just at an angle, you're going to end up pushing that post all the way over to the side. So here's a trick that I do, and I apologize if the camera starts bouncing around, but that's what we're going to do when we start hammering. But I do a few light taps like that, and it just gives a tiniest little bit of a flare to the top of that, snap. And then what I do is I walk the tool around. I'll do a bunch of hammering, and I kind of walk the tool around in a circle, and what that does is it kind of flares it out a little bit more evenly. This whole time I'm still holding the webbing down so that the pin doesn't move. And then what I'll do is I'll go back and try to center the snap, or center the setting tool, and then hammer straight down. And it's better to do a lot of light taps rather than like big heavy swings, because that'll throw things off for sure. So I'm just checking it to make sure it's mostly centered. There we go. So you can see it's pretty centered in there, right? It's like just barely a little bit off, but it's super solid, and it's not squished and squished over to one side. So I hope that helps for people that are setting their snaps. Thanks for tuning in.